What's up, guys? Welcome to Touchdown Talk, where everything and anything football goes. I'm your host, Jason, and today is episode 2 of NFL Weekend Recap. Now, it's going to be a short one because we did post a video on Saturday covering up to Friday night. So, only 2 bits of news that I have for you guys today, so it's going to be a fairly short video. So, right off the get-go is Jerry Rice talking about Trey Lance. Now, he said he's ready to go, and also said that he has something that Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't, and that is his mobility, his rushing ability. And I'm going to play the video, guys, so you guys can see and hear what Jerry Rice said about Trey Lance and how he spoke on Trey Lance.
I think he's ready to go, and I think, he's incredible because he has that one aspect that Jimmy doesn't have, and that's the threat of running with the ball and stuff like that. So, his mobility, his strong arm, and this guy, he's before his time. He's a young kid, but he's very experienced, and I think he's ready to go.
Now, with that, I do believe that Trey Lance could be the guy for the San Francisco 49ers if given the chance. Now, this season, if Jimmy Garoppolo can't go, if they end up trading him, whatever they do, I think it's Trey Lance time in the Bay. I think it's Trey Lance area. Now, this season, I do want to watch a bit of Trey Lance to see what he has, and I do believe that he can lead the Niners to a playoff run. Now, whether he shines this season or, takes another year in the system to thrive, because we haven't seen much of him. He was on and off the field last year with injuries, and Jimmy Garoppolo was obviously there. They went to the NFC Championship with Jimmy Garoppolo, so a lot to take in for the San Francisco 49ers on what they're going to do. But if Jerry Rice is saying it, one of the all-time greatest 49ers of all time, next to Joe Montana, probably the best receiver of all time in the NFL. So if he's saying this about Trey Lance, it does seem like if Jerry Rice is saying this, it could seem that Trey Lance is ready, especially if one of the all-time greats in NFL history overall as a player is saying this about him, that he's ready to go. So obviously he has the back. Jerry Rice has Trey Lance's back. Jerry Rice has support for Trey Lance, and Trey Lance has the support of Jerry Rice and so many more, especially his tight end George Kittle. So very excited to see what Trey Lance can do this year, and it's going to be interesting to see how the 49ers handle the situation. Now, next bit of news, and the last bit of news, really, we only had 2 things. And the second thing and the last thing for this episode is A.J. Brown's response to Miles Sanders calling the Philadelphia Eagles an all-star team. So as you can see here, A.J. Brown's tweet is right here. And, A.J. Brown coming out and just telling Miles Sanders to pump the brakes a little bit. And it does seem weird that Miles Sanders, of all players, is coming out to say this, because Miles Sanders hasn't been a huge part of the Philadelphia Eagles team. Miles Sanders hasn't been a huge part of the offense. Now, Sanders did say he wants more time and more possessions with the ball. So for Sanders to come out, I do believe I talked about it in my last episode. So if you guys want to go check that out, it will be linked below. Episode 1 of Weekend Recap and episode 6 of NFL News in 10 Minutes will be linked. I believe I talked about in episode 5. So Miles Sanders obviously comes out and calls the Eagles an all-star team. But A.J. Brown comes out now and just tells Miles Sanders to just pump the brakes. Because if you look at the Eagles team on paper, if you look at their depth chart, if you look at the guys they have, they are an all-star team on paper because of the fully loaded defense they have. If you look at their defense, they could have 2 starting defensive line with the players that they have on that line. And then at the receiver position, they have 2 number 1 wide receivers. They have a good top 6, top 7 tight end in the league right now in Dallas Goedert. They have a 2-headed backfield who's really getting started to go with Kenneth Gainwell and Miles Sanders. And then obviously Jalen Hurts, which is the unknown at the moment for the Eagles. So on paper, it looks like they are an all-star team just because of the guys they have, especially on the defense with Fletcher Cox, with Brandon Graham, who have been there, won the Super Bowl with the Eagles. Bringing in guys like Hassan Reddick and James Bradbury. They brought in Darius Slay a couple years ago. So the team's really coming into fruition. It just depends on how they play on the field, which is what A.J. Brown's basically saying. And then if you watch the Eagles this season, it's going to be fun to see how they all come together with the offense, how Jalen Hurts plays. And if they are an all-star team, then they could be in for a huge playoff push. Now, upcoming on this channel, if you guys didn't check out episode 6 of NFL News in 10 minutes or less, I will be doing an offensive and defensive breakdown this upcoming week. Now, I will be starting tomorrow, Tuesday, and this episode will be out on Monday, July 4th, a special July 4th episode, just a short little video. And then July 5th, Tuesday, and July 7th, Thursday, will be the first 2 episodes of offensive and defensive weapons. Now, I will be going division by division, so I will be doing each division and then going throughout the division. So, for example, the NFC East, I'll be going through the Philadelphia Eagles offense and defense, the Dallas Cowboys offense and defense, the Washington Commanders offense and defense, and the New York Giants offense and defensive weapons. So I'll be doing division by division. Every Tuesday and Thursday will be one division. So this Tuesday will be the NFC East, Thursday will be the AFC East, and so on and so forth. So we'll be breaking it down by division, by episode, and then from the division within, by team, and then breaking each team down by their offensive and defensive weapons. Now, I did 6 on the offensive side and 6 on the defensive side. Now, this comes between quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, and it just because some teams have quarterback battles. So some teams might have 2 quarterbacks and only 1 running back. Some teams might have 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, and then only 1 receiver and a tight end. So it just is breaking down. I broke it down by the team and who I think is going to be the most important player at that position for the team. So depending on the team and their strengths, some have no tight ends, some have 1 tight end, some have 2 tight ends. Same for the quarterback, the running back position. Some teams have 1 receiver, some teams have 2, some teams even have 3, based on the team and the strengths at their position at the spot on their offense. So if you guys want to check that out tomorrow, Tuesday, as this episode's coming out Monday, July 4th, Tuesday, July 5th, will be the first episode of Offensive and Defensive Weapons, and Thursday, July 7th, will be episode 2 of Offense and Defensive Weapons. That will continue throughout the next 4 or so weeks. Every Tuesday and Thursday, 1 episode of that. And as usual, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, NFL news in 10 minutes or less. And Mondays will be the NFL weekend recap. So for the next 4 weeks, we have an entire slate of videos. Monday will be the NFL weekend recap. Tuesday and Thursday will be the offensive and defensive weapons. And Wednesday and Friday will be NFL news in 10 minutes or less. NFL news in under 10 minutes. So I'm excited for all these videos. I'm excited to get the new content out there. And if you guys enjoy this, subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for the upcoming episodes throughout the next couple of weeks and throughout the entirety of this channel. And like always, I have the Instagram linked for this channel. My Instagram, where I report all the NFL news, where all these designs come from. I post all these designs to my Instagram, and then I just bring them over to the YouTube. And as well as I will be linking episode 1 of NFL Weekend Recap and episode 6 of NFL News in under 10 minutes. Now, if you guys did enjoy this content, you guys can go check out those other videos as well as the Instagram if you do enjoy seeing these, and if you do enjoy getting the NFL news quickly, go check out my Instagram. And like always, if you guys did enjoy, I will see you guys next time.